How's it going, everybody? Nathaniel from RCInsight here, and I am back with another LEGO news video for you guys. In this video, I'm going to be going over all of the LEGO Friends 2023 sets that have been revealed. I'm a few days late to this. I actually recorded it the other day, and my audio did not turn out, so I'm doing this again. But that video ended up turning out a lot longer than I wanted it to. Anyway, there are 20 sets in this wave, so there's a lot to cover. And so I'm going to do this video a little bit differently. I'm just going to be kind of going over the highlights, what I really like. Some of this stuff I already covered in a video earlier when we talked about the rebrand, so I'll leave that in the link down below, and I'm not going to talk too much about those sets. I'm just going to go over some of the real highlights of this wave and some of my thoughts on Friends as a whole, because I'm not a big Friends collector, and I think that will leave this as a little bit more of a succinct video. So Autumn's House and Heart Lake International School were both sets that we covered in that other video. I think Autumn's House is a really nice set with a good price point. The Heart Lake International School is a little pricey. It's still an interesting set with some unique design choices, but it's expensive for me. The standout set from this wave is the Downtown Flower and Design Stores. This is a really incredible set at 2,000 pieces, 220 Canadian dollars. It's a pretty good price. I believe it's 170 in the United States. I really, really like this apartment building here. It's kind of like an older style of architecture, which I really appreciate. It kind of fits in with what I would call the creator mini modulars. I think it suits that sort of style really well. And then, of course, that's juxtaposed by this very gorgeous, modern-looking building. I love the angles. I love the tile finishes with the different colors. Really a lot to like here. The interiors, I think, leave a little more to be desired. But that's okay because the exteriors, at least for me, that's okay because the exteriors are so solid. It can also be broken up into little modules as well. So you can kind of shift them and move them around. This birch tree really reminds me of the modular birch tree for the bookstore. But yeah, this is a really, really good set. It's the standout from this wave. Then the hair salon here, this is another nice set at $50 and 401 pieces. It's a little pricey, but not too bad. I'd rather this be a $40 set. But I really like the use of the big clear pieces for glass, both for the windows and then also for the roof. I think that looks really good. There's some interior design here that's pretty nice as well. You basically get the full salon package, which I really appreciate, including some extra hair pieces as well, which is really cool. Overall, I think the design here is pretty solid. I like the color choices. The scissors on the top at the front of the store look really good. There's really a lot of solid elements to this set, and it's another one of the sets that I really like from this wave. I talked about the Downtown Diner and the Dog Rescue Center in my other video. Both of them are decent sets. I don't love the colors of the diner. The Dog Rescue Center, it's actually not a terrible price point. I just don't like the design. It feels really basic. It feels like something that I would build if I just pulled out a tub of old Lego bricks, right down to the color choices even, so it's not for me. Mobile Tiny House, this is an interesting set here because I actually really like it in concept. It just does not feel like it's worth $85. I mean, there's 785 pieces here. I just don't see it when I look at this set, though. I don't know where all the pieces come from. The tiny house looks really cool. It looks like a lot of fun. I like this car build here. There's a lot of detail. It's 6 studs wide. Even some of the side builds here are nice. But I just don't know where that piece count comes from. And so as much as I like this, oh boy, it's too expensive in my opinion for what it looks like we're getting. And speaking of too expensive, the organic grocery store is another example of this at 830 pieces, $120 Canadian, 100 in the US, I believe. It's too much money. And one of the things that I always liked about LEGO Friends is that you got building sets at much better price to piece ratios than LEGO City. I'm a big LEGO City collector, and LEGO City always goes for the vehicles in favor of the buildings, and I like the buildings better. And so I really like what LEGO Friends does with the buildings, and I like the fact that they're actually reasonably priced, whereas LEGO City buildings are just always so overpriced. Part of the problem is I can't always get past the color choices for LEGO Friends. Here, the color choices is actually really nice. I really like the mix of the white and this kind of pink beige to white gradient that we have here. Even the vehicle is a nice set of colors and a nice design. So there's a lot that I really like here. The interior leaves a little to be desired. It's not bad, but it reminds me of the LEGO City grocery store that came out just last year in terms of interior. There's a little bit more going on there, but it's the exterior where this really stands out. But the price just is way too much money. There are a bunch of these room sets: Nova's room, Ilia's room, Leo's room, and Leon's room, all $25 Canadian, 20 in the United States. they're not quite vignettes, but they're like interior design sets. Like you can see there's no exterior design to them. It's just an interior design. I'm not a big fan of this type of set to begin with. If it is like a vignette or like diorama style display piece, then I'm actually pretty cool with them. I really like what Lego's done with some of their dioramas recently, but this isn't really that. And so there's no real external display value here, and I don't like a lot of these interiors either. I guess they're more play oriented. They're just not sets for me, really. That's just what it comes down to. Same thing with Paisley's House. It's a 4+ set. I mean, what can you say? This mobile bubble tea shop, it really stood out to me at $13.99 in Canada. That's a $10 US set, 109 pieces. Very good price to piece ratio. I really like this little trailer build for the bubble tea shop. We get 2 mini dolls. Now I don't care for mini dolls. I'm a minifigure guy, but I mean, hey, you're getting 2 of them in a $10 set. So I think there's a lot to like with this one, and I think Lego did a really good job with pulling out some great $10 sets in this January wave, and just a lot of really good, less expensive sets in general. And unfortunately, since other themes were doing really well with that, I'm kind of surprised that Friends almost feels more expensive this time around. It really caught me off guard, but this bubble tea shop, very, very well done. Skate park we don't need to go into, but you get some of those stunts ramps in some new colors, including coral, which is nice. I like the skate park design itself better than the Lego City one. It's still on the pricey end, and the building here, for once I'm saying a building in a Friends set feels unnecessary. I think it just jacks up the price needlessly. Holiday camping trip, actually I kind of like this. It's a 4+ set, but the camping van in the back looks really good, despite it only being like 3 pieces or whatever. I don't care for the car build quite as much, but for a 4+ $25 set, it's actually not that bad. Zeroing in on a couple other $10 sets here. This dog rescue bike, it's $10 US, and 125 pieces. Again, it feels like pretty good value. You're getting 2 figures plus a dog, which is nice. I really like this bike build. This park build is decent as well. The bench build kind of feels a little tacked on or pointless. But I mean, you're getting it, so I'm not going to complain that much. You're getting 3 builds in a $10 set, which is very good value. So I like a lot of what I see here. Again, I'd love to see more $10 sets like this, because I think this is very solid. I really like this park build, actually. Likewise, this donut shop, it's a 4+ set, which it doesn't even strike me as a 4+ set. I really like it. It's 63 pieces, so I think that's where the 4+ness is coming in. But for, again, a $10 set, you've got a little donut shop. You've got a nice donut printed piece on the front. You got the donuts on display in the shop. You got a little cafe table. It really doesn't strike me as a 4+ set. There's even a bit of an interior here, which I quite like. So, it is on the simpler side, but for a $10 set, I think this is quite good too. I don't know that I would get it just because, like I said, I'm not a huge Lego Friends collector, but I think I could see a set like this doing really well. Even with that 4+ label, I'm a big fan of it. And I mean, here you can see why, but yeah, still, this is a solid design. All right, so then the last couple sets here, we got the dog rescue van. I really like this set. It just feels like it's worth too much. $40 Canadian, 300 pieces. It's too much. It should be 25 Canadian, 20 US. I mean, we see a truck build and we see a little bus stop. There's no way that's more than a $20 set, quite honestly. I really do like the truck build. I like the colors here a lot, but again, it just feels too pricey. I just don't see all the pieces and I don't see that full price. There is an interior here, which is kind of interesting, but it's nothing crazy. So I quite like this van design, this truck van, whatever you want to call it. I like the design, but unfortunately, I just can't get past that price tag. And then lastly, we have the Cat Hotel, which is a far better priced $40 set with 445 pieces instead of 300. A really fun hotel build. I really like the way they've used this wheel arch piece for the top of the windows. I like the colors here and the window design. We got a fun little tree. I love the cat build on the roof of this cat hotel. The interior isn't anything super crazy in my opinion, but you got all these spots to climb for the cats and stuff, which is neat. It's just a pretty hollow interior. I think that's what really struck me. From the side here, it looks like you got a lot of depth, but you almost have no wall on this other far side. So that's a little bit disappointing, but still, for what it's worth, even just as a facade. I really like the facade, and that cat build's adorable. The whole color palette here is really nice, and so overall, this is one of these sets that I really like from this wave, and it does feel more in line with that solid LEGO Friends pricing. So yeah, that is this LEGO Friends wave, guys. Like I said, tried to do a little bit more of a quicker look at this than my last video, which came out at like 25 minutes and ended up being unusable. I think this is a solid wave. I always like the Friends sets because I like that they do buildings, and I wish LEGO City did what LEGO Friends does for the price that LEGO Friends does. But I did find that the price was a little bit more expensive this time around, and that did surprise me. As someone who's not a big LEGO Friends collector, I'm not a big mini doll guy, I can still appreciate what they're doing. I think the rebrand they've done is smart. But, you know, I think the price, if I was going to get some LEGO Friends sets, it's usually the price that drives that. And I don't think that there's quite that incentive this time around, unfortunately, though there are some really solid sets in this wave that I quite like. As always, give me your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. I'm super interested to hear what you guys have to say about this Friends wave and whether you are a Friends collector to begin with. So yeah, give me your thoughts on these sets and whether you like them in the comments down below. If you like the video, leave a like. It is a great way for you to show your support. Subscribe for more content like this, LEGO news videos, reviews, speed builds, all that sort of stuff I have on my channel. So if that interests you, yeah, please check it out and subscribe. I've put out a ton of LEGO videos of late covering all the new 2023 set images. So yeah, definitely check that out. But with all that said, I want to just say thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I will see you all in the next one.